Hey everybody, Basilray from Vapelink, and today we're going to look at something a bit out of the norm. So if you're a regular viewer of the channel, maybe you're in for the first time, most of the things that I look at are big battery devices, you know, things like a ProVary, maybe the iHybrid, perhaps an Empire mod, accessories, cartomizer tanks, liquid reviews, all those things that deal with vaping. Today, we're going to look at something that's a bit out of the norm for me, but something that I'm actually kind of excited about. So today we're going to look at the NJoy King. Now you might be saying to yourself, NJoy, what happened? I thought you knew what you were talking about. I certainly would like to believe that I do. Maybe I don't always, but I'd like to believe so. But the NJoy King is, I think in a lot of ways, kind of a new revolutionary gateway electronic cigarette, if you will. Comes in 3 varieties. There's the menthol, the bold, and the gold. And the menthol is also bold. So these two are 4.5% nicotine, 45 milligrams, and the gold is 32 or 35, I forget exactly. It is marked on the plastic wrapping that these come in. So they each come in these fancy little flip-top plastic containers. So the top flips open, you pull out one electronic cigarette, and there's also kind of a little informational brochure here. They can be stored in these nifty little plastic cases when not in use. They flip shut. These are not the old run-of-the-mill microphone-based, you know, shake them up and they go off electronic cigarettes. Many of you may still even be thinking, how can this be? It's an NJoy product. I've used NJoy products and hated them. This is quite a bit different than your standard run-of-the-mill disposable electronic cigarette for a couple of reasons. One, it is very cigarette sized. So here it is next to standard KR808D1, and the circumference is a couple millimeters smaller, and it is about an inch shorter, so it is more of your traditional cigarette size. The entire thing is one plastic tube, soft plastic. I mean, it's got some bend, which is nice because when you get to the filter end, where the cartomizer is, it feels squishy, kind of like the butt of a real cigarette, and that's kind of appealing to me. Something about this, even more so than a KR808, because it's very light. It's you know, weighs quite a bit less than the KR808. It's smaller. It just feels more like a real cigarette in your hand. So let's. This is the bold, the 4.5% nicotine content, 45-ish milligrams. Let's take a good puff here. When you're puffing on this, you hear just a bit of a cartomizer crackle, which really kind of almost simulates that the sound that you'd get when you took a nice big draw on a cigarette. So if you're new to electronic cigarettes and that's how you've stumbled upon this video, I mean, everything about it from that standpoint is like a real cigarette. Certainly it tastes better than a real cigarette, but that being said, in terms of especially pre-filled cartomizers, these do taste better than your average run-of-the-mill tobacco kind of e-liquid. I'm not a big fan of the bold menthol. Just the liquid that's in it doesn't do it for me. You know, it vapes just fine. It's got a bit of menthol to it. Just, I don't care for the taste. The taste isn't as good, I don't think, as the gold or the bold varieties. This gold is actually, the battery is dead. The battery on these lasts around 30 minutes of actual puff time, give or take. Again, that's kind of a generalization. The battery here is quite small, very, very small battery, so that is a bit of a downside. However, I think this is the perfect unit to just keep around if there's a smoker in your life or you have friends that still smoke. Maybe they are reluctant to try electronic cigarettes. They don't think it's going to work for them. This is the perfect thing to gift to all the smokers that you know. Maybe you've got that person that they've tried vaping, they kind of like it, but they're not going to do it on their own, and you're going on a road trip. Have one of these in your car, give it to them. They can do this. You're not going to need to feel like you have to roll the windows down, anything like that. So it's a nice alternative there. So the end lights up. It's a slow light LED, so even that is kind of closer to replicating, you know, the effect of an electronic cigarette than something like, say, a KR808, which you puff and it's on. So I think NJoy's done a lot of work here to put out a pretty decent product. It's marketed primarily in places like Walgreens, gas stations. The local holiday stations here in Minnesota, where I live, have started stocking these in place of the traditional, NJoy cartomizer kind of units. And I've bought a bunch of these. These are not the first. This is not the first set of NJoy Kings that I bought, and I enjoy them. It's kind of nice just when I'm out and about, maybe at a bar or a social setting. So, what's the downside to the NJoy King? Because so far it's been a bit rosy, right? The downside is the price. Each individual NJoy King retails for $7.99. Well, I think that it's a perfect intro, or your batteries are dead and you're out at, there's a gas station nearby. You can pick one of these up. You blow an atomizer. You don't have a spare. Your cartomizer fries, whatever it might be. You can pick something up to get you by. Perfect. Have somebody want to intro to vaping. Perfect. And even at the $8 price, pretty reasonable. If you were going to use the NJoy King to replace your traditional cigarette habit, this would be far more expensive than regular smoking. They say that one NJoy King is the equivalent of 2 packages of cigarettes. The experienced vapors of the world know that that is not close to the truth. You're going to get about a half an hour of total puff time on this. Again, it's kind of a generalization, so give or take. However, I still think for a run-of-the-mill gas station disposable electronic cigarette, NJoy's done some really cool things here. So, before I let you go, let's tear this apart. Let's see what makes the NJoy King tick, and I'll see you next time. Alright folks, so here is the close-up of the NJoy King. You can see I kind of started to pull the wrapper off of this, so I'm going to continue to kind of try and pull this off a bit to see what's going on here. And as I get to where the end, in a traditional cartomizer unit, even a disposable, you would see the cartomizer kind of connection here. You can see it's all just one soft plastic tube. I mean, look at how squishy this is. So we can pull off the end piece, which is soft rubber. Let's grab, I've got a syringe here. This should let me pop it off. There. So we've got a soft end piece. It is standard, filler-based cartomizer. I've also got a wire cutters here. So as we tear this thing apart a bit, there we go. You can see here it's all just one shiny tube. Plastic. It's rather soft and squishy. I've actually bent it about where the cartomizer ends. So I'm going to kind of carefully cut into this a bit so you can really kind of see what's going on. I'm going to make a few cuts here in the plastic. So there, I've broken it open. Here is the filler. And what's a bummer is that there's still liquid in this filler. I mean, you can see that the filler is not completely dry. As I squeeze on it, I mean, you can see that we weren't able to get all the liquid out, which is too bad because, this performs really pretty well for a cartomizer unit. So there you get a pretty good look at, it's about half used. So unfortunately, there's no way to really change the battery here, which I've now been able to pull out. There's some markings on the battery. They say 68380. I don't know what that means. There's no real indicator here of the battery size, but you can see just how small it is. Here it is, in comparison with a KR808 battery. That's a standard KR808. The whole thing is quite a bit smaller than that. There is the switch here, which if we were to, I think, puff on this, we would probably get, even pulling on this, it to fire. So pretty simple unit inside of very soft, flexible plastic tubing, which kind of lends to that realistic feel. On the end here, the end cap, you can see is pretty deeply textured. So even that, they took that extra step, I guess, aesthetically to really try and simulate the texture that you would see at the end of a burning cigarette, where if we compare it to, a traditional run-of-the-mill KR808, it, they haven't gone to that extra bit of aesthetic step. So again, I mean, you look at these and they are expensive. That's really kind of the downfall to the NJoy King. But for, again, just a disposable throwaway electronic cigarette, I really think that these are fantastic. I would endorse keeping one or two of these around at all times. Here's just a close-up look at the little case. Flips open, flips closed. Will a standard KR808 battery fit in here? No. You can see there's kind of a special channel here to hold your King. Slides in, flips shut, and there you go. So there it is, a look at the NJoy King, perfect Christmas stocking stuffer for the smoker in your life, and it's not going to break the bank. They're just going to want to move on to something that's not disposable and expensive. So if NJoy can find a way to bring the price down on this, I would certainly buy them regularly because I think that it's a overall pretty decent product. That's what I've got. Basilray, signing out. Remember to check out Vapelink on Monday nights, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Until I see you next time, please take care.